standard games that they played in Dallas, Texas, just a couple weeks ago. But here, we're back into that quieted environment, and we'll see what the preparation...
Absolutely, and we have, the game is underway. Hikaru on the white side of a Rubinstein Nimzo with the move bishop to d2. Hikaru borrowing a page from the Wesley So playbook, as this bishop to d2 move, it's very strange to see the bishop in tune behind the pawns, but the idea is to stop the move c7, c5. Obviously seeking the center, but if you imagine that a2, a3, bishop takes c3, bishop takes c3, gives up the two bishops, then you don't want your pawn on c5, because d4 takes c5 will just open up that diagonal for a bishop. So I'm expecting a3, Maurice.
By the way, we should note that, again, the organizers had promoted showmanship in that one. And so Naka wouldn't have done something that outrageous. Gukesh did not take it personally in any way, because he knew that was sort of in the contract.
Yeah,
but that didn't stop his fans from. So
well, they weren't on they didn't get the memo.
They did not get the memo, and they can say, okay, whatever, you can tell us any storyline, but we want to see our guy seek revenge. And in this position, it's known that black should be more or less okay out of such a solid setup. So nothing spicy yet. A3, bishop takes on c3, and then a capture. If you take back with the pawn, which would be the way to try to keep some energy in the position, you will get an isolated pawn. And he's taking with the knight in this position.
Just to avoid this knight e4 business too, by the way. So knight takes, yes, sorry, Maurice.
And so now a very solid, I mean, this is, ultra solid, but white does have the two bishops, particularly that bishop on c3 at the moment will try to be the stabilizing and also the differentiating force in the position. If I got a bishop that you don't have, I'll try to bash you in the head with it. And so Naka now needing to find exactly what to do, because knight e4 could come at any time.
In preparation for knight landing on e4, I would find my eyes drawn to the move queen b3. Why? Because I like development. Yes, I like development. Secondly, when you play the move e5 and I play the move knight back to f3, I like the idea of being able to castle long. Hikaru decided it was best to just retreat the knight right away, anticipating the move e5. He did so, and then knight c6 very quickly, and rook c1. I would say in the opening battle, at least if I'm looking at the clock, James, I'm seeing Gukesh with 10 minutes, more time than what he started with.
That's a bit surprising.
So he says, I've got this all on my board at home, and let me play the move e5, and let me at least threaten the possibility of d4.
Absolutely a great threat in this position, and
I want to deal with that.
Naka said I don't want to see any parts of that threat as a capture. Now
bishop to b5, let's go. Can we play with the move bishop b5?
But this is certainly like very small, minute type advantage that white is seeking here, as the structure is resolved in terms of black's position.
And we do see bishop b5.
Bishop b5,
but we also saw that the computer doesn't love it.
28 seconds left for Hikaru, for Hikaru's opponent, Gukesh, in this position. And Hikaru just needs to find a move that shocks his opponent. Something that surprises him, forces him to think for some time. Remember, he lost on time in his first game against Magnus. Here he is, his first game against Hikaru. A little bit of trouble.
Yeah. And I see the tension is ramping up also in the Magnus Fabiano guard. But here's the question, is what on earth is Hikaru supposed to do?
How do you have any? I don't even see a move. There's no move I want to make.
Well, the move I don't want to make, but the move I feel I may be forced to make? No, none of the above. Rook c1 followed by queen a2 was Hikaru's decision. He has kept knight takes d3 in reserve, but
there's a sneaky little trick he had in mind.
What's that?
Taking on d3 and then f7 would hang. So Gukesh spotted it and brought his rook back to guard that pawn.
That was clever.
Yes, there was a check on c8 and then queen takes f7 and suddenly he would have burst into the position.
It's the clock time,
15
though. Look,
seconds.
15 seconds.
Those are the kind of sneaky moves I'm talking about that you have to spot. And Naka knows how to play quickly. You see how hesitation by Gukesh?
Yeah.
No such thing by Naka when he starts getting into flow. So Gukesh has to be careful.
There was no trickies. You got to be careful that you don't walk into something like rook takes. No, Hikaru said, "Okay, I see you. I'll just keep that defended." Now, he's done it. I was about to say the only open file for black to utilize is the open b file. Time to play rook b7 and queen b2. If you can engineer the trade for queens as black, I feel that Gukesh is the one who's going to be pushing.
By the way, Magnus is being pushed back in his game against Fabiano.
Well, that move c3, c2 was really, that's a killer blow because, and rook a5, dropping back with a rook to go after the g4 pawn. I mean, the problems are just piling up, and now finally, queen takes f2. That's a second pawn, and all of white's pawns are in trouble now. Queen takes e3, rook to g5. Gift me the pawns on h5 or g2. Hikaru said,
Yeesh. Here, 4 seconds ticking down, and he simply resigned.